Hello and welcome to a brand new installment of Nintendo News Report. Only a few days after our last one. It's Tuesday, May 8th, 2018. Nintendo announced their online plans yesterday, and we're going to have a show that I say will only probably be 20 to 30 minutes long, but it'll probably be the same 40 to 50 they always are. I'm here with Donald. Hi.
For you, it was the biggest Nintendo news 24 hours of the year. For me, it was Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah. Why was it Tuesday for you?
Well, partially because for various and sundry reasons that I probably should get checked out at some point, I got like 2.5 hours sleep last night.
Ooh, that's no good. I guess it doesn't help that they announced this last night, and then the virtual console stuff we're going to be talking about got announced even after that. So, yeah. Also joined by Justin B.
What's up,
Hi.
everybody?
We're good. We're
Yeah,
doing a show.
I'm
We're
here.
talk. You're
Surprised I
here.
made it because I didn't know until about 10 minutes ago, but I made it.
Cobra Kai never dies.
Never does. Never
Never
ever.
does. Never does. So, as announced, it is still early May. Nintendo detailed their Switch Online plans last night. Originally, it came out through Google Translate and the Japanese website.
Yeah, which brought us the glorious phrase that I'm going to be stealing from now on: save custody.
Save custody. The Google translated cloud saves, or whatever the equivalent of cloud saves is in Japanese. And yeah, it seems like we're getting the cloud saves. It seems like there's going to be some other stuff. They revealed some news, but not all of it. They did say that the service will be $19.99. There's also going to be monthly plans. It's like $3.99 for a month, something in between there for 3 months, and then $19.99 US for a whole year for one person. They're also doing $34.99 for a family plan, which you can connect to 7 other accounts. Just to compare it to the other online services, that sounds like a really good deal. I think the word is that PS4, once you have PS Plus, which is more expensive, of course, you any account on the system can use it.
Yeah, the generally the it's and you can move the account to another PS4 pretty easily, but you can also do that with Switch Online as well. Because you can have a family account that covers multiple Switches, which that would definitely make sense given the nature of the Switch as a platform.
Right. And if it is easy to create a family account, which goes live on May 15th, you get the ability to do that. Then theoretically, you could split 7 ways, $3.50. Although I guess I'm just of the mind, as someone who prefers things as easily as possible, $20 is such a low price range that I'm just gonna probably buy my own account.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I've seen a lot of people on different social media platforms just looking for a group of people, but that just seems like too much of a headache for such a
For
little
20
amount of
bucks.
money. Yeah.
And I'm
Uh,
saying everyone obviously has their own financial situation, and I can't speak for everyone. But I guess splitting it 3 ways and not getting that control over the console, it seems like a tricky situation. And I feel like $20 is a low enough price range that if you're going to invest in an online account, you should probably just get your own. Unless you have an actual family, at which case it
yeah,
counts for you.
yeah. My brother and I have already made plans to split the cost of a family plan just because I'm pretty like they haven't revealed the nature of like, if you can cross regions with it, but I highly doubt you'll be able to,
Hmm.
especially since like the Japanese family plan is like the equivalent of $50. It's 4,500 yen, I think.
Yeah. So for Canada, it's about 25 bucks for a year.
$25 for the single or 45 for the family.
For 45. Okay, so it's 22.50 for you. If it's just you and your brother splitting the account, that wouldn't be a huge discount. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, it's your brother, so it doesn't matter, but I'd probably recommend you get a roommate involved on that or something.
My current roommate does not have a Switch. So
Oh.
I mean, I hang out with a bunch of people that play Switch anyway, so I think we'll probably like it might end up that there is a family plan of some sort at some point among that group, but we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be meeting up with them this weekend, so
Okay. Word. According to Nintendo's FAQ, which they outlined on their website, signing into a compatible account on any Switch that has purchased the service Oh, this was an incomplete sentence, Donald. You must have been sleepy. It's okay. Online play for select titles will require a paid account after launch, with the following games called out: Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Splatoon 2, Sushi Striker, The Way of the Sushido, and Mario Tennis Aces. Other games will vary. Worth noting that Smash was not called out,
Right.
and pre-existing games, ARMS, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe were called out, which some people are upset about, but this is what they basically said they were going to do the whole time. So this isn't something that irks me too much.
Yeah, I mean, it. I can kind of see the issue. Like if you're not in for the other things that the service will give you, which we'll go over here, then you've probably you'll end up with about 16 to 18 months of free online for things like Mario Kart and Splatoon. Which
Right.
But still, Nintendo was upfront about this cost coming for this exact experience, this portion of it anyway. So there's a lot of people who I see complaining about it, but it was never a surprise. This was going to happen.
Yeah.
Also, when the hell did Sushi Striker need online multiplayer?
I guess that's not a question we would ask until we actually are confronted with the possibility of paying for online. If this was a 3DS game, like
It is a 3DS game. That's the
it
point.
it is a 3DS game. I feel like if this was still just a 3DS game, you would not be asking that question, which is not a criticism of you directly. I just think it's it's a valid question, specifically because online is now a consideration, paid online. So I don't know why it needs online multiplayer. The local multiplayer I played at PAX East was quite fun, but I don't know. They need more online games. Sushi Striker has the potential for it. So it's because you can't just have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, and Splatoon 2 being the only games you're really paying for, and Mario Kart Aces.
And Mario Tennis, and presumably Smash
Mario
Brothers is
Tennis,
going to
yeah.
be the thing that they're going to try to drive subscriptions with.
People are suggesting this Smash is going to come out in September to line up with the Switch, but I still think that's a last week of November kind of game.
You think it's a November 17th or whatever, the 16th or whatever the Friday before Black Friday is?
No, I think it's going to be the Friday after Black Friday. I think it's going to come out.
That's not a Nintendo move at all.
Wasn't the Wii U version? Didn't that come out the very last week in November?
No, it was November. It was November. It was before Black Friday in 2014.
You're positive?
Yeah, it came out the same day as Pokemon. I know. I bought both of them.
Okay, wasn't it a later day in November though that I'm thinking?
Yeah, I think that was just a fluke of the calendar that year, because I mean, if the 16th is the day in question that for this year in 2014 that day was the 21st.
Okay, November 21st, 2014. You are correct. I think it was because I was thinking that it was in the 20s. I was like, oh, that must have been the last possible week in November. But you're probably right. I agree with you. Last pre-Black Friday, November, if it comes out this year.
I really think it might be a September game just to match up with this online launch. Because I feel like they're going to want something to go with that launch to really force people to get it as it begins and not wait 3 months. I think they want to push it. And Smash Brothers like the perfect game to do that. It's going to be a big seller that has a great online, well, presumably a great online component to it.
Yeah, we've been down that road before with Smash Brothers. And
believe me, I lived the nightmare that is Smash Brothers Brawl.
Yeah. I think there's reason. I think one of us is going to be right. I guess my only consideration is that I'm guessing Smash is going to come out super hot. Not in the sense that it's not going to be polished. It's going to be as polished as any other Nintendo game. I just think that's the kind of thing they're going to try to develop as long as they possibly can. Or at least that's my feeling on the matter.
Yeah, there's going to be a big online focus game that is going to be out timed to whenever this launches. I bet you they launch on the same day. The only thing is, we don't know if it's going to be Smash or if it's going to be something like Animal Crossing or hell, a totally new IP.
Or
But
Pokemon. If the Red and Blue remake comes out this year, like everyone's rumoring it will.
I take those rumors about as far as I can throw them, honestly. Like we had EA had their financial results today, and they're expecting 12 million more, like Nintendo to ship 12 million Switches by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So if Nintendo's going to ship 20 million, they need something huge in the first quarter of in the last quarter of the fiscal year, which is probably Pokemon.
Or the games that they put out just keep selling, which is how Nintendo games tend to go at times. I mean, I was actually one thing I like to do is I like to watch the little commercials Nintendo likes to put out on their YouTube channel just because I want to stay up to date in how they're advertising their games. And it was very interesting watching these trailers for 2DS games or for the 2DS. And it's like, oh, Super Mario 3D Land, a game that came out in 2011 and also has 3D in the title. Oh, they're showing off Smash Bros. Oh, they're showing off Zelda Link Between Worlds. Nintendo's titles have that evergreen quality, and I feel like if they just re-advertise themselves, you're going to have plenty of people buying Mario Kart in Q1 2019. You're going to have plenty of people buying Breath of the Wild in Q1 2019. And you're going to have the still fresh Smash and Pokemon all post-Christmas because some people aren't necessarily going to have time to buy the game on December 26th. Or
who
what
knows
have you.
what other surprises will be coming out the later half of this year.
Yeah, Cherry Goblin says, what if it's Wave Race? I mean, it won't be, but what if it is?
That would be cool, but maybe that gets announced this year, but I don't think it's coming out this year.
I think if there's another Wave Race before F-Zero, there's going to be a riot somewhere.
Yeah. Livanid says, I was hoping Sushi Striker would have cross-play with 3DS and Switch, but that seems very unlikely now. Yeah. I think Sushi Striker is probably a minor enough game that it's a relatively unlikely feat.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, and I think the only way we're going to get interaction between a 3DS game and a Switch game is if it's something online connected, like, I don't know, Pokemon Bank.
Right. Dale says, do you have to pay for third-party games? Yes, it's going to be, as far as I know, the same as PlayStation Plus and Xbox One in that you are paying to use the video game online play in general.
Yeah. And so I guess this means don't be surprised if we start seeing maybe more multiplayer focused stuff from third parties coming out that gets announced in the not too distant future.
Fortnite.
Nintendo is behind enough. I could see GTA 5 hitting first, though.
You think GTA 5 is going to come out? That's a big game.
I think it's already the most profitable game in history. Actually, it's the most profitable item in the history of entertainment. So at this point, I don't know why they don't. They're playing with house money so well at this point that I could see it happening.
Do we know how LA Noire did on the console?
Not really, but LA Noire didn't really perform anywhere. I don't think it made the NPDs in its first month. And again, that standard disclaimer: NPD charts are all revenue based now, and that was not a full price game anywhere. But yeah, didn't really do all that well.
GTA 4 10-year anniversary edition.
Yeah, and there's another thing that's turning 10 years old this week, actually. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Phantom Evolve, Super Mario 64 online with a single player mode with crossplay to the very day. Huh. Wait, Smash Bros 64?
No, I think he said Super Mario 64, which would be, let me see here. Just checking.
That'd be like the DS version almost.
Yeah. The only reason I don't see that happening is because the actual anniversary of the day is a Saturday, and Nintendo doesn't do Saturday releases anymore. They've only done them actually once that I can think of.
Okay. Some people are upset. The app is still going to be required. The app is still going to be your primary means of voice chat.
Yeah, I'm pretty upset about that. It's pretty bad unless they completely overhaul this app. Severely overhaul this app. But even still, it's going to be annoying. It's just obnoxious to have all these wires around, especially if you're charging your Switch while playing it. Then you have to have another basically completely different product out with a headset plugged into it. And then if you want volume from both, you got to do the weird mixer type thing. And
I don't think I have booted that app in this calendar year, and I barely used it even before that.
I'll do you one better. I have never booted the app.
Well, I did get into it when I was checking for stuff for Splatoon 2, because that is literally the only game that still works on it, barring some things that we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, the what they should probably do at some point is put that app on the actual Switch, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
Yep.
At least not on this model.
Yeah. Cloud custody is going to be coming with the September update. Save data cloud backup.
Save data cloud backup for, they stress, most games. Looking at my various retail games on the 3DS, about 75% of them had a local save backup, so you could delete the file but keep the save on your and back it up on a computer. But understandably, a lot of people are upset with the fact that this seems to be the only way to preserve your save data.
But there's no way to do that with a micro SD card, right? Like, I can't copy micro SD files onto the computer. Is that a thing?
For the 3DS, it actually was.
No. I mean, for the Switch, it's not a thing.
Yeah, for the Switch, it's not a thing. Maybe they bring, like, there's still going to be more details about how this is all going to work. So maybe there's a limited tier for free users. It didn't sound like it, but maybe in a firmware update that we get before this comes out, they add in some sort of backup all your saves to the micro SD, and then you can just plug it into the computer. But if that was, because we know the capability exists, it's been found in the homebrew scene. So unless Nintendo is ultra paranoid about save files, which, let's face it, they probably are, then they really need to implement something on this, because even if it is $20-25 a year, tying your saves to this online service is a dick move.
Yeah. I got into a little spat with people in our Slack chat today because I was relatively upset about this feature. Not to be a negative Nancy, but there is no local way to back up Switch saves for free as of this update. Yet every one of its competitors has options. The Xbox One has unlimited cloud saves for free.
Well, I have a completely different view on it. This might be the feature I'm most excited about because I really don't want to lose my save data. And $20 a year, especially, and we don't know for sure yet, especially if it does the cloud saves automatically while the system's in sleep mode, would be fantastic.
Well, yeah, it's going to be better than nothing, and I guess for all of us who have no other options, it's going to be fine. But also, there's not even the local backup that you can get on PS4.
How often do you do the local backup yourself?
For my 3DS, quarterly.
Yeah, I have, just knowing I have the ability to do it is very important. I think it's more the ethical nature of the fact that they're holding this hostage, where every one of its competitors, including the now dead handheld, the Vita, which has been dead for years, had advanced save backup capabilities, both paid cloud and backup to the computer. And it's just, I guess, seeing the Switch, like, this is their answer in 2018, and we don't know whether it's going to be limited data or not. I think it's a bummer move that there's no way to back it up in other than this.
Now, granted, the main save that I would want to back up, like, I've already got a functionality for that I'm still paying for in the form of Pokemon Bank. But when I went through my 3DS here, you can't really back up Pokemon games, Animal Crossing type games, which included Tamagotchi Life, and for some crazy reason, one Monster Hunter supported save backup locally. So I suspect that should a game of that type come out on Switch, it's probably not going to support cloud saves.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe says Switch has no competitors, LOL. To which I say, the Switch is not the Wii. The Wii did not really have competitors. The Wii U, even, I would say, especially because it was so far in last place sales wise, did not have competitors. But I think outside of the handheld console stuff, the Switch is absolutely competing with the PS4 and Xbox One. It still gets very different games. So it's not exactly a full one-to-one competition the same way Xbox and PS4 does. And the landscape of consoles is very different now. But I think as far as the features you get, like, it matters. I mean, it matters that the Switch has the ability to be a handheld console. That's a big deal for a lot of people, myself included, and I think everyone on this panel with us today. But also, I think it matters when Nintendo's going for a paid online service and it does not stack up to the competitors. Like, I think it matters less when it's for free, especially because it's the last of its kind to be free. But once it's paid, even if it costs less, it's still worthy of criticism if there's valid criticism to be had. Because its online platform, you can absolutely compare with its competition. I don't know if any of you boys have anything to say to that.
I just think the voice chat is a bigger concern to complain about than the cloud backup, because I'm just happy to have it.
Yeah.
For me, I don't really play games online anyway. For the most part, I haven't booted Splatoon in a while, honestly. And so what matters to me is that, like they mentioned, the discounts. Okay, I want to see some receipts on that, and the robustness of this backup.
Yeah, they said special offers. Stay tuned for news on special deals and offers for members. Not mentioned in the press release, so we have no idea what this means. I hope it's on the tier of, flash sales and 70% off, and like Knack or The Last of Us Remastered going on sale for $7.99.
Considering what Nintendo considers great deals and rewards on My Nintendo, I have zero hopes for this part of the online service.
Oh wow, January 2019, and I can get Mario plus Rabbids for $35. Thanks, Nintendo.
Well, that one would be on Ubisoft, but if we're talking because Nintendo's traditionally, they've capped out at 40% discounts for their first party stuff if you're a My Nintendo member, 30% if you're not. Okay. I could see them going to 60 to 70. We may see that, but I would expect 50 would be the upper limit on that, considering, again, $20 a year.
Whatever they say for special offers, I doubt they're going to put Breath of the Wild on sale for $30 until it becomes a Nintendo Selects type game, or even years from now.
Yeah.
I think you might see Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for $30, but I almost feel like that's going to cap out the quality of the deal you're probably going to get.
But hey, if it was $30 US, $40 Canadian, and I got Tropical Freeze, that would pay for the service on its own.
Rizza says, Kalafi, calm yourself. I'm giving very reasonable criticisms of this platform so far. I am sorry I cannot participate on the hype train quite yet, but as someone who plays on Steam, on PlayStation 4, and has played on Xbox, I guess my frame of reference is more directly one-to-one. Joe says 15% off Flip Wars. Let's go.
Wait, you mean that's not on now?
Flip Wars, didn't they finally finish that game and then the developer shut down?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Or did they finish? I think they finished the game, but I also think the developer shut down. Okay. Then there's the big kahuna here. That's going to be our last two news stories of this before I respond to more comments. We have found out the first iteration of this games collection that we were sort of talking about on last week's show. the Nintendo Entertainment System portion of Nintendo Switch Online. Play classic NES games anytime, anywhere. Enjoy a selection of NES games with added online play for the first time as part of your paid Nintendo Switch Online membership. Shows a Switch tablet being stood up with 2 people using the side Joy-Con grip. The service will launch with 20 games, with new games added regularly, which I think is kind of like what I was saying with the Humble Vault sort of deal, or it would be or the EA Vault. Like, it seems like it's going to be a similar version of that. Soccer, tennis, Donkey Kong, Mario Bros, Super Mario Bros, Balloon Fight, Ice Climber, Dr. Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Super Mario Bros. 3. Those are the first 10. And then that connects directly to the Virtual Console story, Donald.
Yeah. So we heard about these details Monday, like last night, and then there was an approach for comment from Jason Schreier over at Kotaku to Nintendo, who basically responded that at this, like, I want to make sure I get this exactly right here, because there is a lot to parse from this quote that they sent to him.
Mm-hmm.
But there are currently no plans to bring classic games together under the Virtual Console banner, as has been done on other Nintendo systems. There are a variety of ways in which classic games from Nintendo and other publishers are made available on Nintendo Switch, such as through Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online, Nintendo eShop, or in package collections. So we are not going to stop getting old games on the Switch, but we are not going to. The Virtual Console name will not be attached to them for now.
For now. Yeah, Jason Schreier sort of titled that as if it wasn't going to be used on the Switch at all, but the currently no plans tells me that they absolutely currently have no plans, and it probably won't come to the Switch, but also there's wiggle room for them to bring it back for N64, GameCube, or they might call it the Nintendo Classics line. Like, they might do that kind of thing with the GameCube and just make it a digital sort of classic.
Yeah. Well, they do have the ability to bring it back. I really don't think it's going to happen, just because some people might say, I want upgrades from Wii U to Switch, and then that just complicates things for Nintendo.
Yeah, it does complicate things.
And like, the entire point of the Switch was that it was a clean break from the Wii and the Wii U, and that includes how they're doing the releases of older games.
Mm-hmm. Cherry Goblin says some form of Dr. Mario exists on every Nintendo platform, or I guess will, when this thing comes out.
Not the Virtual Boy.
Oh. Ha!
To be fair, there's a lot of things that Nintendo didn't put on the Virtual Boy for a very good reason.
Just saying. Just throwing it out there.
And there were some things Nintendo only put out on the Virtual Boy, like Nestor's Funky Bowling. So there's something. Oh, wouldn't it be cool? This wouldn't be cool at all. But if they put Nestor in Smash, but had one of the costumes be Virtual Boy graphics.
Oh, God.
I'm down for that.
I mean, there's a lot of NES characters, or like old sort of relic characters that they need to put in first. Excitebike guy, Balloon Fight guy,
Mock Rider,
Pauline,
Ice Climbers.
One day. That'll probably be an E3 announcement. I bet that'll be an E3 announcement.
Yeah, I'll go nuts.
Yeah. You should do like one of those reaction videos that they do for all the Star Wars trailers.
Just be me crying.
Character that's already come out in 2 games.
Justin's already having a golden year with the Ice Climbers, given, there's the Arcade Archives one's supposed to come out this year. We're going to get it on the NES. Maybe they get back into Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we get Arcade Archives and the NES online version, so that's 2 versions of Ice Climber coming to Switch this year.
That's too many.
And, man, we got to get them back in Smash Brothers. I've been saying it on Twitter. This is the year of the Ice Climber. We got those 2 games. They got to be coming back to Smash.
Year of the Ice Climber.
Because the year of Luigi worked out so well for Nintendo.
One of the best Nintendo-related pictures ever is like Nintendo posts 500 million yen loss.
In Year of Luigi.
In Year of Luigi.
Yeah, but Yeah, but I mean, we'll probably like. I think they're starting out with the NES because let's face it, there's still rampant amounts of nostalgia for the NES for reasons I still can't fathom. But in
I
any event,
fathom.
but I'm like like they talked about Super Nintendo games when they first talked about this online service. Like God, it was a year and a half ago now, and like I think that'll be coming. That's maybe a year two thing, or maybe an early 2019 thing. And then who knows? Maybe we do get to N64 and you can play Smash Brother, like original Smash Brothers online.
That'd be nice.
Well,
I'm not that interested in the NES games. It seems like obviously these are going to be the first ones, but I'm more interested in seeing what comes next.
yeah, I'm really I would want to know how this service of free games is going to evolve over time. Is there going to be like a trickle every month, or are we going to have to wait till some event to get another large grouping of them? I want to know what they're really going to do to make this something something they keep adding value to over time. Are they going to take games away? What do you guys think is going to happen with this?
I think they'll build up. But I don't think we're going to get any third party stuff on this service, so that Nintendo can make sure that they keep the rights up. Because if it's as long as it's stuff that they own free and clear, they don't have to take they should never have to take a single thing off the service. And if they do, something is wrong.
Third party stuff, there might be licenses on.
Exactly, but I think given the fact that we have there are 2 Mega Man Legacy collections coming out in a couple of weeks. There's a Street Fighter collection coming out before the month is over. We're getting 2 more Mega Man collections in July. We're getting this SNK collection sometime in the fall. If the Virtual Console had to die for us to get those collections on Switch, then so be it.
Yeah.
I'm happier with the collections, to be honest.
Dale says, "Remember the Virtual Console trickle late in the Wii's life?" That I was thinking about that too. I feel like once they find out if they're releasing like 2 games a month or 3 games a month or 1 game a month, they kind of need to keep that pace because people are paying for the service.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they can get away with not releasing games for 6 months on this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and because the reason that the Virtual Console slowed down so dramatically actually launched about 10 years ago this Saturday, WiiWare.
Mm-hmm.
But now that the Switch has been established as a place where you can get really freaking good indie games, I don't think that's going to be a concern. So I think they'll be pretty aggressive with trying to load this up, especially since, there's for every person who's hyped to play Pass the Baton Legend of Zelda, there's someone who's like, what the hell is the point of all this? But maybe they get brought in with, I don't know, like Mario Paint or something. Just picking things out of nowhere for Super Nintendo.
I would love to see how they do Mario Paint on Switch.
Joy-Con, IR pointer.
Yeah.
Or touchscreen if you're playing off TV.
Or can they sell me like a mouse?
Yeah, a real computer mouse.
Can I buy like a Switch mouse?
What a great business move.
Nintendo, you bring back Mario Paint, I will buy the first Switch mouse.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Matt Kelly asks, kind of a non sequitur, but I think it's interesting. Do you think you should do a discussion of 10 things that Wii U did better than the Nintendo Switch? I know there's something the Wii U did have that the Nintendo Switch lacks. There's the tablet. Huh?
Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Xenoblade Chronicles X?
I would not say that.
Okay, what would you say then?
The eShop.
The eShop. There's the dual tablet, sort of, that you can do a 2-screen gameplay, which I think was cool. I'd say. All right, Donald, you pick one now.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
That's a good one. Justin?
Are games really things we need to pick? Like, that doesn't seem like a system.
It doesn't have to be. I mean, I wouldn't pick the games, but I don't know.
Things? Save backup?
Yeah.
Save backup?
I think my next one was going to be hard drive support.
Hard drive support? Miiverse. There's an easy one right there. Miiverse was so good. Oh man.
Oh, I got one.
What's yours?
D-pad.
D-pad, better D-pad. All right, that's 8. Donkey Kong Country Tropical. Oh wait.
Yeah, a little later.
The
Okay,
virtual console. Yeah.
How about a less expensive Tropical Freeze, but not as funky?
A less expensive Tropical Freeze at every single part of its life. It's so inexpensive that Nintendo considered it too dangerous for sale.
Free online.
Free online.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
Too early.
It's I guess it's too early. So there you go. There's 10 things.
Dale says backward compatibility.
Hold on. Alexa, stop. Alexa, cut it out. I said
Are we going to have to bleep that when we put the audio version out? I think we do.
Well, why do we have to bleep it?
Because you can set people's devices off with that, right? Like,
well, I
hey,
said
George.
Stop. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much work I feel like putting it on the audio version and when it comes out and whether I remember. I give it 50-50 odds. No, it's that people are asking who that is. That is not my dog, but my Amazon product. I have a dot that I got last year. One sort of my last cynical note about this online thing is the NES games and the Virtual Console branding. One part of me wonders if one of the reasons why they didn't bring Virtual Console branding back is that it's easier and more profitable to do this, and it's probably way more difficult for them to do carrying forward purchases several generations. Like, they probably didn't want to say, because we have Virtual Console, now we have to give people their copy of Super Mario Bros. That they bought on the Wii 6 years ago. Because I think this is the generation where it would be hard for them to get away with saying that you need to pay $5 for Mario again.
Yeah. Although, I mean, they're charging, like, well, the base price for Mario now is $7, $7.99 in the US, but it's also the arcade version, which hasn't come out anywhere in about 25 years.
Well, that is true. I would say the original version is better.
Mm-hmm.
But it is cool to have the arcade version.
Yeah.
And I mean, you people talk about how Sony supports PS1 classics. Yeah, they don't do that on PS4. They never will, seemingly.
Yeah. Livinid points out Mitomo is passing away today. Or it's its last day today, I think.
I thought tomorrow.
It shuts down basically a close of business in Japan today. So bye, Felicia.
Yeah. Rest in peace. That was a cool thing for like a couple weeks. It was a good first mobile effort on Nintendo's end. That was their first mobile effort.
Yeah, I do appreciate that it helped me make album art for the old podcast.
It was interesting, but I wouldn't call it great.
It was neat. It was funny.
Like a week or two.
It had Tomodachi Life vibes. It had fun little mini games. It scratched a mobile itch.
Yeah. Dead folder on my phone.
Yeah, if I recall, the game wasn't that super profitable, and it wasn't until their later games. I don't even think it was until Fire Emblem, and it may have only been Fire Emblem that was such an extremely profitable game.
Hey, what can I say? Waifus sell.
Yeah, Donald is 30% of the revenue gained from Fire Emblem Heroes.
Considering I've spent about $6 on the game, that'd be pretty stunning.
No, I told you the one time I was leaving a GameStop and this guy, I think, bought $250 worth of iTunes money or whatever just for Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, like.
Do we know how Animal Crossing did yet? Because outside of the fact that I follow Animal Crossing on Twitter, I don't hear anyone talking about this game, but I still hear people talking about Fire Emblem Heroes.
You got Animal Crossing, I know they just changed something major in the game where it became where you had to spend more money basically to unlock everything. And I knew a few people who were playing this game hardcore since it came out who I know are big Animal Crossing fans, and they love to 100% their catalog, and they had been keeping up. But once they switched over to this new method, they deleted the game.
Oh, wow.
And don't forget, we also had future American League president Chrissy Teigen lighting up Animal Crossing Pocket Camp on Twitter the other night.
She's like the new Arby's account of unexpected nerds tweeting things out and getting a lot of retweets.
Yeah, she's sort of taken over that role from Zelda Williams, I think. Neil said that in Slack the other day, but it's true.
Yeah, she's the new one. Her tweets are better, I think, because her show a very close relationship to those games that, like, in Zelda's case, like, she plays the games, but I feel like Chrissy Teigen goes real hard on some Animal Crossing.
Yeah. She's wondering where the Switch version is now. So so if that gets announced at E3, you can probably thank or blame Chrissy depending on your point of view.
And you gotta wonder, like, just because she's with John Legend, not to get into too celebrity stuff right now, and then they're very close friends with Kim and Kanye, and I gotta wonder how close in physical proximity Kanye West has been to some of these big Nintendo games in the last few months. Like, she's brought her Switch with her, and then, like, they played Mario Odyssey or something. I don't know. That'd be kind of neat.
None of this matters to me one bit. I really don't care. I'm just gonna say what's on my mind right now.
Now, if Kanye started tweeting about Animal Crossing, that'd be something I can get behind.
The only Kanye thing I'm gonna say is at one E3, I was in the Nintendo booth, and Miyamoto was like upstairs, and like this was like the press part of the booth, and I think Jared and I were there doing Mario Maker footage, and I'm like, man, Miyamoto's upstairs. This is awesome. And one of like the women working in the booth is like, oh guys, did you see like Kanye just went by? And I'm like, Kanye? Miyamoto's up there.
Now, who has more Twitter followers? Oh, Miyamoto doesn't have a Twitter account. Point.
Good for him.
He chose wisely.
Yeah. Like there's a part of me that's glad I never got into Instagram and wishes I never got into Twitter. Because I remember begrudgingly making an account like 8 years ago. Like, what is this Twitter business? I'm too cool for social media. And now it's been like 8 years later.
No, yeah, when I started writing for Riptan, they're like, you got to make a Twitter. I'm like, really? Okay.
Yeah. Matt Kelly says Google Play Store of 2017. And then he also says, I did hear Animal Crossing Pocket Camp succeeded to be part of Android Winter 2017, along with Fire Emblem Heroes and Super Mario Run. Yeah, they did put out some good mobile games.
I mean, I haven't been a big fan of their mobile games. Mario Run's probably my favorite.
Yeah, I think I guess I was saying that in more of a general sense, but I concur with you. Mario is my favorite, but even then, it's Animal Crossing is a bit of a treadmill I didn't quite get into. Fire Emblem, I beat the quote-unquote whatever had been released of the campaign at that point, but
yeah,
I think it was very much a Donald game.
Yeah, and they've almost doubled the length of the campaign since then. So they're actually trying to tell a somewhat coherent story now, but we'll see how that goes because there's a new chapter coming out for it on Thursday.
Right. Okay, nice. I think that will do it for our show. Chariot asks, remember Metopia? Nope.
What's Metopia?
What is Metopia? Justin, do you play Metopia?
No, but I do own it. I just got to that point where I'm like, how many portable devices do I want to carry around with me right now? And I've been playing Switch, so.
Dale says, short show. Okay, here's one more thing I can squeeze out. Oh, Neil is sick, Dale. So one thing that's worth Dale asked, why is Neil on Discord rather than this podcast? Couple reasons. One, even though Neil was there from the very beginning, he is technically on this show in a guest-ish capacity. So it's more like there's no expectation for him to be on, but it's obviously very nice when he is on. The other thing is he has a cold right now. So he's relatively out of action at the moment. one last thing I guess I can talk about if you guys are hungry for more show content, although this will only be a minute. I read the ARMS. I was telling you guys about this before the show, so I'm just going to be saying all this all over again. Free Comic Book Day was on Saturday, and the ARMS comic, which got delayed to early 2019, that graphic novel, a free preview of that came out as part of Free Comic Book Day. It's about maybe 10 to 15 pages, and it colors in the world of ARMS a lot. It tells you about the powers. It tells you about some of the characters. It adds in a character or two that aren't actually in the game. It explains the universe. It has like a My Hero Academia thing going on. And as opposed to the Splatoon comic, which I found out was a straight up manga, this one is a colored graphic novel that is left to right. And I enjoyed it. Go Nintendo has the full scans up. Or if that's not allowed, go to your comic book store and see if you can get it there. But it should be pretty easy to get a hold of it. Anyways, I think it's cool that they're putting out the ARMS because Splatoon's cool and everything, but I think ARMS has so much promise for an amazing story and world, but we just haven't seen enough of it yet. And this comic seems like a very promising start.
Yeah, well, ARMS has this whole world building thing they did on Twitter, but haven't really Twitter in Japan, but haven't shared with us. So there's none in the game. Almost nothing is in the game. So it's going to be interesting to see some blanks filled in with this.
Yeah, for sure. And then the Splatoon comic's only like $7 on Amazon. You can go to that one. And I recommend reading the reviews. There are people complaining that it reads backwards because it's a manga. There are moms giving it, and I think some dads too, giving it 1 star because there's a scene where one character pants another character. And they're like, oh, my son pantsed his brother because he saw it in the Splatoon comic. So you can read up on that stuff. And it seems like if it's like the Splatoon comic, the ARMS one is going to come out between, I'd say, January of 2019 and the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. Like it seems like they try to release this in one half decent stretch. So there's something to look forward to. And I do think that is all the news this week. I mean, it was a normal length show. We started at 10:10. Yeah?
Yeah, so about 45 minutes.
That's how long we normally go. There are some, if you go into our playlist that needs to be updated on Nintendo World Report TV, there are several episodes that are like exactly 42 minutes or like 42 minutes, 41 seconds. There are multiple episodes of our early show that are the exact same timestamp. And I would call this a relatively consistent going of it. But that's our show. Thank you so much for listening. Go to NintendoWorldReport.com. I have a review going up tomorrow for a Nintendo game. It's not a Nintendo published game. It's an independent game. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what it is, but it comes out in a couple days. It's relatively anticipated. And here's your reminder to always read reviews before purchasing video games. That's the only ominous hint I'm going to give you. So, look forward to that review. Should be up tomorrow. Probably in the early goings. People on the audio version, you'll be able to see what game I'm talking about by that point. Patreon.com/NWR. Justin's on Twitter @KingNintendoFan. Donald's on Twitter @DonaldMick. I'm on Twitter @Kulafia. Find us on iTunes, Nintendo News Report. Give us a review. Give us a subscription. If you review us, no matter what it is, I will read it on the show. I will address it. I've addressed the 1-star reviews. I've addressed the 3-star reviews, but I'm not here to push you into doing those reviews. If you like the show, I always appreciate a nice 5-star because that helps us get more visibility. But that's our show. Have a wonderful night. Bye.
Bye.
Night.